Students, today we are going to see a detailed study about Pythagoras Theorem and to solve some problems related to that topic. So the first thing we should know is this is a right-angled triangle. Pythagoras Theorem we can apply only in right-angled triangles. So this shows 90 degree right angle. The side opposite to 90 degree, the longest side, is called hypotenuse. Now this side we used to call base, and this one is height, or study the new word altitude. So base, altitude, hypotenuse. In Pythagoras theorem, in a right angle triangle, these are the three names, these are the three sides we must know: base, altitude and hypotenuse. By keeping these three sides, we have an equation, Pythagoras equation, we are applying in this full chapter, which is this one: a square equal to b square plus c square, that we generally say, where a is hypotenuse and then base and then altitude. So easily I'll suggest one more equation: hypotenuse square equal to base square plus altitude square. So with the beginning letters of the side names, we can follow any of this equation. So for getting the hypotenuse, base square plus altitude square. So what can we do if we want the base square? Suppose if base is missing in a problem, but the other two sides are given, what we will do? Base square equal to hypotenuse square minus altitude square. Okay, remember this is minus. From the longer side, we subtract the other one. Now, if altitude is missing, hypotenuse square minus base square. If we know these three equations, we can easily solve the whole chapter. So remember, for finding the hypotenuse, it's adding the other two sides square. If it's base or altitude missing, it is subtracting from hypotenuse square. Okay, now we will start solving the problems. Use Pythagoras theorem to calculate the length of the hypotenuse in each of the right angled triangles and give your answer to 1 decimal place. So look here, we have a right angled triangle. Base is given, altitude is given, hypotenuse is missing. So what the equation we learned? Hypotenuse square equal to base square plus altitude square. We will substitute the values. What is base square? 5. So 5 square plus, what is altitude square? 7 square. Now 5 square, 5 times 5, 25. 7 square, 7 times 7, 49. Now we need to add them, 74. So hypotenuse square is 74. So what is hypotenuse? Square root of 74. Okay, which we will get an answer using calculator, that will come here. Okay, the square root of 84 is 8.60 centimeter. 8.60 centimeter. So the only thing we need to remember is this equation. We need to find hypotenuse, so it's plus here. So we will see the next one. So we have a right angled triangle. The base is given, the altitude is given, hypotenuse is missing. Write the equation first. Hypotenuse square equal to base square plus altitude square equal to, what is base square? 13.5 square plus, what's altitude square? 9.2 square. So we can find out what is 13.5 square is 182.25 plus, we will find out 9.2 square is 84.64. Now we will add them. 266.89. Hypotenuse square is this number. So how to get hypotenuse from that? It's square root. equal to 16.33 centimeter. So 16.33 centimeter. These are all calculator works. Where we need to be very careful is how to select the equation, how to select the suitable equation. Okay, we will see the next example. Use Pythagoras theorem to calculate the length of the unknown side in each of these right angled triangles. Give your answer in 1 decimal place. Okay, here too it was 1 decimal place. So in the previous question. So the first answer is 8.6 is enough. And here 16.3 is enough. Okay, what we need to find out? The base is missing. Altitude is given, hypotenuse is given. So what's the equation for the base? Base square equal to, from the bigger one, subtract the smaller one. Hypotenuse square minus altitude square. What is hypotenuse square? 14. 14 square minus, what's the altitude? 8. 8 square. Now, what is 14 square? 196. And 8 square? 64. Now subtract. 1, 3, 2. So base square is 132. So what is base? Find its square root. 132 square root. 11.4. There are so many numbers like 11.4, 8, 9, so many. So we need only 1 decimal place. 11.4 centimeter. Next one. See this looks the normal one. But see, it looks like an inverted right angled triangle, right? Upside down shape. So don't get confused that this is base. No, how to find out? This is 90 degree. The opposite side is called hypotenuse. So this is the longer side. And this one, if we take as a base or altitude, no problem. Okay, I will take it as a base. So altitude is missing. So what we need to find out? Altitude. How to find out? What's the equation for it? Altitude square equal to, from the highest one, hypotenuse, subtract the other one. Hypotenuse square minus base square. Now substitute the values. What's hypotenuse here? 0.8 square minus, what is the base here? 0.5 square. So most of the students are making mistake in this equation part. This is subtraction. Be very careful. Okay, what is 0.8 square? 0.64. 0.5 square is 0.25. Now subtract. So when we subtracting, we will get 0.39. Don't stop it here. It is a square. We need what is a? Square root of 0.39, which is 0.624. So many. We need only this much, right? So 0.6 is our answer. We will copy that here. Okay. Now, word problems. The same Pythagoras theorem, but given as word problem. So we will see what it is. Draw a diagram to show, draw a diagram. So a diagram must be there. Draw a diagram to show the information and use Pythagoras theorem to solve the problem. A rectangle is 10 centimeter by 3 centimeter. So first we will draw a rectangle. 10 centimeter by 3 centimeter, meaning this is the length and this is the width. So length is 10 centimeter and the width is 3 centimeter. Calculate the length of one of its diagonal. So draw a diagonal. This is a diagonal. We need to find its length. So it's given it's a rectangle shape, means all the angles will be 90 degree. See, we found a right angled triangle over here. With base is given, altitude is given, hypotenuse, the longer side is missing. So informations, from the given information, we found a right angled triangle. Now hypotenuse is missing. We will write the equation and we will solve it. So I'm writing the equation. Hypotenuse square equal to base square plus altitude square. Now base is 10. So 10 square plus altitude square. So 3 square. 10 square means 100. And 3 square is 9. So adding 109. Most of the students will stop here by mistake. Always remember, this is hypotenuse square. So what is hypotenuse? The square root of the number 109 is 10.44. We need only one decimal number. That's not mentioned in this question. Okay, 10.44 centimeter. Now second one. An isosceles triangle. So the first thing you should know, what's an isosceles triangle? It's a triangle with two sides are equal. Okay, isosceles triangle has a base of 10 centimeter. These will be equal, okay, 10 centimeter, and sides 15 centimeter. See, sides, so they both are 15. That's why it's given isosceles triangle. Both are 15 centimeter. Now calculate its height. So what we need to find out is this one. Remember, we always need a right angled triangle to solve this problem. See, that's why the height, take the right side part or left side part. Look at this portion. It's a right angled triangle with a 90 degree over here. Now see what's missing. We need to find out the height. Base is given 10. We are taking only this portion, which is half. So 5. And this is the side opposite to 90 degrees. So that's the hypotenuse is given. Base is given. Altitude is missing. So accordingly we will write the equation and solve it. What's the equation? Altitude square equal to hypotenuse square minus base square. Now what's hypotenuse here? 15. 15 square minus base square. Now here students are making mistake. They will take the base as full 10 and write over here, which is wrong. We are considering only half part of the triangle, so only 5. So 5 square. Now 15 square is 225 minus 5 square is 25. When we subtract, we will get 200. This is a square. So what is a? Square root of 200. And square root of 200 is 14.14 centimeter. You see, we are drawing a diagram. We are finding out a right angle triangle so that we can get the height. And a 10 is not the base. What we need is just 5. We are writing the suitable equation and solving it. Okay, next question. Calculate length of the unknown sides. So this is combined figure. Okay, in each of this diagram we need what is x and what is y. So look at the diagram very carefully. There are two right angled triangles. I am going to name this as the first triangle and this as the second triangle. Look at the first triangle first. This is the 90 degree. So base is given 4.1. The altitude height is given. What is its opposite? The longer side hypotenuse x, that's missing. So first we will find out the hypotenuse. We will get a number here. Then look at the second triangle. Its base is given. Its altitude is given. And its hypotenuse is missing. So in both cases, what we need to find out is hypotenuse. So first I will take the first triangle case. Hypotenuse we need to find out, right? Hypotenuse square equal to base square plus altitude square. Base is 4.1 square plus altitude square is this one, 6.2 and 4.1. We are looking at only the first triangle right now. 6.2 square. Now what is 4.1 square? 16.81 plus 6.2 square is 38.44. We need to plus them. 55.25, which is the hypotenuse square. Don't forget to find what's hypotenuse. Its square root. 7.43. So we get this hypotenuse 7.43 centimeter. Now look at the second triangle. We know its base. We got its altitude. We need to find out y, its hypotenuse. So same hypotenuse equation. Hypotenuse square equal to base square plus altitude square. Base means 4.5 square. Altitude is 7.43 square. We will find it out. 4.5 square is 20.25 plus altitude square 7.43 square is 55.2. We will add them. 75.45. Hypotenuse square is this one. So hypotenuse equal to its square root. 8.68 centimeter. Okay. So I will give you a summary. Look at the first triangle. See what is missing. Here hypotenuse is missing. In different picture it may be different. Here hypotenuse is missing. Apply its equation. Look at the second triangle. The opposite of 90 degree. Here also the hypotenuse is missing. Apply the equation. Okay, I repeat. Applying the proper equation is more important. Now next one. The last one. So again we have two triangles. Which one we can choose first? For example, I say this one is first. Look what all informations are given. We don't know the base and we don't know the height. Only hypotenuse is missing. Only hypotenuse is given. So we cannot choose this as the first one. This is the first one because two informations are given. Two datas are given. Okay. So this is first triangle. This is second triangle. Now what's missing here? Is it the same hypotenuse? See, this is 90 degree and its opposite side P. Yes. First triangle hypotenuse is missing. And look at the second triangle, 90 degree and its opposite that's given. Base is missing. So we need to look very carefully what we need to find out. Okay, we will start with the first triangle. There it's hypotenuse, right? How we are finding it? Opposite of 90 degree. That's the clue to find out hypotenuse. So hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. Base is 2.1 square plus height altitude 3.9 square. Now what is 2.1 square? 4.41 plus 3.9 square 15.21. Now add them. 19.62. That's hypotenuse square. Get the hypotenuse, take the square root of 19.62 is 4.42. So we get P 4.42 centimeter. Now we need to find out Q. Look at the second right angle triangle. Now we know what is P, altitude. Hypotenuse is given. Q, base is missing. So write base equation and solve it. Base square equal to hypotenuse square minus altitude square. Okay, so what's hypotenuse here? 7.2 square. What is altitude here? That is P. We just find it out here, 4.42. Now we will solve it. 7.2 square is 51.84 minus 4.42 square is 19.54. Subtracting them, 32.3. So base square is this. So base will be square root of 32.3. That will be 5.68 centimeter. Okay, so basically a final summary, only three equations. The main one, hypotenuse square is equal to base square plus altitude square. Actually there is only one equation. The other one we are making it from here. If we need to find out base square, it is like this. Altitude is going here, plus becomes minus hypotenuse square minus altitude square. If we need altitude, hypotenuse square minus base square. Then look at the picture properly, what is missing. For that you should know what is base, what's altitude, what's hypotenuse. The longest side opposite to 90 degree is hypotenuse. The down one is base and the height one is altitude. Clear? Thank you.